and their different examples. Fine. So we have solved few numericals also. So let us quickly revisit the things whatever we discussed, and then we will continue with today's new theory that is called mesh analysis as well as loop analysis. Fine. Okay. So we have discussed series parallel combinations. Fine. And there are different circuit parameters that we have discussed, voltage divider rule that we have discussed. Similarly, we have discussed parallel circuits also. Fine. And then various definitions that we have discussed. Okay. Now today we are going to focus on this mesh and loop definition. We are going to focus on the Kirchhoff's voltage law and their applications. Fine. Kirchhoff's current law, voltage law, as well as the determination of direction also we discussed in detail. Now all of you should at least know that how to get the direction of rise in voltage and fall in voltage. That is also we discussed. Fine. And then we have discussed the star delta transformations and delta star transformations. And then we have discussed few examples also. Fine. So today we are going to discuss about the mesh analysis. So the definition of mesh and the definition of loop we have already discussed. So let me repeat that definition first. So mesh is nothing but it is a loop that contains no other loops within it. Fine. And what is the definition of loop? It is a closed path in a circuit in which no elements or node is encountered more than once. Fine. So let's have an example and then we will discuss what are the number of meshes and what are the different loops. So if you identify the number of meshes, then you can easily solve the mesh analysis. Fine. Okay. So there are certain applications where if you apply series and parallel combination of resistance and their equations, voltage divider rule, current divider rule, fine. And if you apply star and delta star transformation equations, still it could be difficult to solve certain networks. And for that, we can use mesh analysis as well as we can use the loop analysis also. Fine. So let's see one example first. Suppose if we have yes, somebody asking a question. Yes, any question? Hello. Okay, I hope I'm audible to everyone. So here if we write E1, we can write R1, we can write R2, and suppose if we have one more resistor here and here, so there are two different paths of current that is flowing. Fine. So if the current I1 is flowing from here, then the another current will flow from here and another current will flow from here. Fine. So in this case, suppose if I give the name ABCD, then here we can identify the number of loops and we can identify the number of meshes. So here meshes, that the meaning is a loop that contains no other loops within it. So can we consider this is a mesh because there is no another loop inside this? So if we consider ABEF, that could be a mesh. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, we can write another mesh BCDE. So this is to be considered as a mesh also. Fine. Okay. Now what about ABCDEF? If I consider that circuit path ABCDEF, then this is considered as mesh. Am I right?
No, sir, it's a loop.
It's a loop because in this circuit path there is one more loop inside. Fine. And that is why we cannot consider it as mesh. So here in this circuit, how many meshes are there? There are 2 meshes. But how many loops are there? So this mesh is also considered as loop. Fine. Because loop is a closed path where the elements and nodes that encounter more than once. Fine. So this is also considered as loop. So in this circuitry, there are 3 loops and 2 meshes. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now consider one more network, and here suppose one more circuit is there named as R4. Current I4 is flowing from here. Fine. So here in this circuit, could you please identify that how many loops are there and how many meshes are there? Meshes are very simple to know here. So there are 3 meshes.
6.
Fine. So current is flowing.
6
Another
loops.
current.
6 loops.
So here we can say there are 3 meshes. Fine. And how many loops? Loop 1.
6.
Loop. This is, so I can use the different color also for your. So this is a loop 1. This is loop 2. This is loop 3. And combinedly we can consider this is loop 4. We can combinedly consider this is loop 5 and the whole loop. So how many different loops that we can identify? 6. 6. Fine. I think this is clear to you, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second thing which I would like to share with you is regarding the direction of current. Suppose if one element is connected, passive element is connected to a circuit, fine. And here the resistor is there in a circuit as a passive element. And if we assume the direction of current flowing I1 in this case, then the potential drop across this resistor where the direction is from, or we can draw the direction like this, fine. So we can identify the polarities of terminal plus and minus because it is fall in voltage. And similarly, the polarity of this in battery, which is independent of current direction, fine. So we can identify the terminals like this. And here we can write, if the direction of current is this and the polarity plus and minus is like this, then we can consider as rise in voltage. So with the help of this fall in voltage and rise in voltage, we will write the Kirchhoff's voltage law equations using mesh. So let me have one example and in generalized example of 2 different meshes, then we will have an example of 3 different meshes. Fine. So let me start with Notepad. Okay. So today's topic title is mesh analysis. So we will write today it is a mesh analysis. Okay. So for this mesh analysis, we are going to have one circuit containing 2 different meshes. Fine. So let's have an example. So I can draw one resistor, another resistor which is common. Fine. So here we named as E1, R1, R3, one more resistor. Fine. And even we can have one battery here also. So we can keep battery, another battery that is named as E2, and here we can name as R2. Okay, so this is the network having two different voltage sources. Fine. So here in this network, first of all, we have to identify that how many meshes are there. Fine. So as we discussed previously, we can identify that there are two different meshes. So here there are two unknown variables that we can identify, that we need to find it out. Fine. Okay. So let us assume that the current is flowing in a clockwise direction in both the cases. As I already discussed, that you can assume according to your convenience. You can even assume in the anti-clockwise direction also. Fine. So let us assume the current flowing here is I1 and the current flowing in this is I2. Fine. So our goal is to find out the current flowing through the different branches. Suppose the current flowing through this branch, current flowing through R2, and current flowing through R3. So our goal to find out the various currents flowing through the various branches, fine, using mesh analysis. So here, first of all, our goal is what? IR1 is that we need to find, IR2 which we are going to find, and IR3 which we are going to find. Fine. So this is our goal. Okay. Now, as we discussed, if there is a resistor and if the direction of current is from left to right, then we can mark the polarity as plus and minus for the resistive drop equations. Fine. And for voltage sources, the direction of assumed current is independent, because this is the battery voltage source where the minus and plus terminal is there. Okay. So now let us consider the loop 1, and then we just marked the polarity plus and minus of different resistances. Fine. So here we know that the current is flowing according to our assumed direction. It is from this direction. So here we will mark it as plus, here we will mark as minus. Similarly, R3. So I1 current is flowing from top to down. So we will mark this plus and we will mark this as minus. Similarly, here, now consider the loop 2 here. Loop 2 in which the current I2 is flowing from R3 and R2. So R3 will be plus because the current is flowing from bottom to top, and it will be marked as minus because the R3 resistor is a combined resistance of two different meshes, I1 and I2 meshes. Fine. So here there are two different voltage drops occur due to current I1 and due to current I2 also. Fine. But if we assume the direction, we can mark this is a plus and this is a minus. Similarly, this can be marked as plus and this can be marked as minus. And this battery is marked as plus and this marked as minus. Fine. So in this diagram, we will write two different equations using Kirchhoff's voltage law. Right. So first of all, as we discussed the sign convention, if we come across from plus terminal to minus terminal, fine, then there is a voltage drop. There is a voltage drop, and this voltage drop is considered as negative value. And if we come across minus plus, then we will consider as rise in voltage, or we can say voltage rise, and we will mark as positive sign. Fine. Okay. So here in the first case, we will apply a KVL, that is a Kirchhoff's voltage law, and we will write an equation. Okay. So apply KVL to mesh 1. Okay. So we can write an expression here. Right. Okay. What is the expression here? So let us start from E1. Okay. Or you can start it from the left corner, and then we will finish it from this way. Fine. So we will write an equation with three different elements, like E1, that is active element, and two different registers. So we will write an equation. Okay. So here, if we start it from E1, so this is rise in voltage. Fine. Rise in voltage, because we have already known the sign conventions. Fine. So we can write here E1. What about this another resistor? That is from plus to minus, and the current direction is also in the same direction. So plus minus. So we will consider this is a negative sign with a drop. So minus I1 R1. Okay. Minus I1 R1. Fine. Similarly, we will write for R3. So for R3, we can write minus, because it is again plus and minus. So due to current I1, there is a voltage drop through R3. So we can write R3 into I1. Okay. So at the same time, in the element which is a common element between two, and the assumed direction is clockwise, and the sign convention is minus to plus, because here the assumed direction is this. So in the direction of assumed direction, here due to I1 it is plus and minus, so we considered as this value, and here due to current I1 the direction is clockwise, but the assumption of the sign according to the current I2 direction that we assumed, here it is minus to plus. Fine. So here you just consider that the direction of mesh 1 is clockwise. In clockwise direction, there are two different drops. One is due to current I1, and due to I1 it is plus and minus, and due to I2 it is reversed. Fine. So it is reversed. So in the direction of current I1, the voltage drop is from minus to plus in R3. So here we are going to write plus sign, plus R3 I2. Clear? So it is very simple to understand. Suppose if there is only a drop, if there is only a single mesh, then according to this plus and minus sign convention, we can write that equation, that is minus I1 R1. Okay. So our assumed direction is clockwise, and in clockwise direction, the drop due to current I2 in R3 is from minus to plus. So the direction of assumption is this way. Fine. And the direction is this way, and the sign convention of resistor is minus and plus. So minus and plus, it will be considered as plus. So here, for that reason, I have written R3 I2. Fine. And equal to 0. So this is the first equation that we can write using Kirchhoff's voltage law. Similarly, we can write another equation of mesh 2. Are you with me, all of you? Or we can rearrange all the terms. Say for an example, I1 that we can take as a common. So if we take minus into bracket R1 plus R3 into I1, then plus R3 I2 is equal to minus E1. We can write this is expression number 1. Clear? Similarly, we can write for mesh 2. So apply KVL to mesh 2. Fine. So in mesh 2, we have assumed the direction clockwise. Fine. So here in voltage E2, which is a battery. Fine. So plus and minus sign, and the direction of assumption is clockwise. So this way. Fine. So can we consider as it is minus E2 because here it is the direction. Fine. And we considered as plus even. So here it will be considered as minus even according to the sign conventions we learned before. Fine. So we can write minus E2 minus E2. Okay. Then what about this resistor? The sign convention is plus and minus. The current is direction of current is this. So it is plus and minus, plus and minus. So we will consider that is minus value. So we can write minus, the current is I2 and the resistor is R2. Fine. And similarly, for this, we can also write R3. So in R3, it is a combined resistor between mesh 1 and mesh 2. There are two different voltage drops. One is due to I2 and one is due to I1. Fine. So due to I2, the current is assumed in the direction from bottom to top, and this is a plus and minus sign. So plus and minus sign, we will use it as minus voltage drop. And similarly, the another voltage drop that will be considered as from plus to minus, because here the sign convention due to current I1 it is plus minus, but current I2 is flowing in the mesh 2, and here the direction of assumed current is clockwise and here it is plus minus. So according to that we will write the expression. Fine. So can anybody help me to write? Can we write an expression here? Can anybody help me to write?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the diagram.
Plus R3 I1 minus
No. First of all, we will write.
I2.
First of all, we will write due to current I2. Due to current I2.
Minus R3 I2.
Minus R3 I2, correct. So we will write minus R3, sorry, it is R3 I2.
I.
Okay.
Plus
Then,
R3 I.
and here it will be plus because the assumed direction is from bottom to top and it is plus and minus. Fine. So here we can consider as it is plus R3 I1. Clear? I think it is very simple to understand. And then we can write that R3 I1, fine. Or we can write in the form of I1, I2 and I3, fine. So here, if we take minus common sign and we can write here R2 plus R3 and then I2, then what about I3 current here? No, I3 current is not there. Fine. So here we can write it is E2. Fine. So here we have two different equations, and these two different equations where two unknowns are there. And these two unknowns that we can solve by the different methods, and we can identify the current flowing through the various elements. Okay. So here, if we want to find out, if we solve these two different equations after applying Kirchhoff's voltage law, there are two unknown variables are I1 and I2. Fine. Rest of the parameters are having different values, and by inserting that different values of R1, R2, R3, E1 and E2, we can find out the current I1 and I2. And here in the first case, we know that the current flowing through this R1 is IR1, and that is exactly equal to, because here only element where the current I1 is flowing. So we can write, after solving this, we can find IR1 is equal to I1. Fine. Similarly, we can find current I2, which is again flowing through the elements R2 again. So we can find IR2 is I2, and IR3, where it is a combined element of two different meshes. Fine. So for this combined element, either it could be a difference of I1 and I2, or it could be a difference of I2 minus I1, whichever the magnitude is higher. Fine. According to that, you will get the value of IR3. It depends on the magnitude of either current I1 and I2. Fine. Or you can write I2 minus I1. Fine. I think the simple theory that we have discussed and how to solve these different equations, that is also very simple. Are you with me, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
let us consider one more network having three different meshes, a little bit complicated. Fine. Okay. So let me start new page. Okay. So one more network where we are going to apply more number of meshes and more number of batteries that we are going to connect. Fine. So draw the network with me and then we will try to write an expressions accordingly. Fine. Okay. So first of all, I will start it from here. So there is a battery. One more resistor. Battery. Okay, so we'll consider this as a generalized network. Fine. So we'll notate with the notations with a generalized. Suppose if it is E1, fine. Similarly, we can write this is E2, and here we can write it is E3. Fine. And we'll named resistors R1, R2. So in the first loop it is R1, R2. Similarly, R3, R4 and R5. Okay. So there are how many meshes here in this network?
3.
Three meshes. So you can easily identify fine number of meshes because it never contains the inner loop also. Fine. So simply we can identify the number of meshes here. Okay. So we'll find three unknown parameters here. Which are they? They are the amount of current flowing through the different meshes. Suppose in mesh 1, the current is flowing in this direction, clockwise direction, and if we write is I1, fine. So I1 is the unknown. So if we know the I1, current flowing through R1 and current flowing through R2, then we can find the voltage drop across each different passive elements, as well as we can even identify the amount of current flowing through various branches, R1, R2, R3, and R4, R5. Okay, so we can identify this also. Similarly, we can write another loop in this way also. This is I2. Fine. And here also we can identify, or we can assume the direction of current I3. Fine. So I would like to advise you that if you assume all these different mesh loop directions or mesh directions clockwise, then it would be easy for you to solve. Because if you assumed one direction in the another like anti-clockwise direction, then sometimes you will be confused what to write, what not to write. Fine. And because of plus and minus sign, whenever you use it, ultimately we'll get the different equations. So to solve in a proper way, always assume the directions of current in a clockwise and make a practice of different examples so we'll get not confusions. Fine. Okay. So here, first of all, we will mark that sign of voltage sources or batteries because it is independent of the assumed directions, minus plus. Here it is minus plus. Here it is also minus and plus. Fine. Okay. Now, due to this current I1, we may assume this is a plus and this is a minus. Similarly, R2, this will be plus and this will be minus. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
fine.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
fine. Now, what about I2 current? I2 current is again in a clockwise direction. So we'll mark here plus and minus. Fine. In this case of R3, it is plus and minus. And similarly for R4, we will mark as plus and minus. Correct? Okay. Similarly for current I3. So for current I3, we will mark this as plus. This will be as minus. And the same current will flow from R4 also. So we may write it plus here, minus here. Okay, and similarly for this resistance R5, it will be plus and it will be minus. So after getting all the sign conventions, now we have to apply the voltage drop, or we can say Kirchhoff's voltage law in three different meshes. So you will get three different equations. Fine, and these three different equations you can solve with a normal solution method. So first of all, solve I1 and I2, and from I1 and I2, again, by inserting the parameters of other equations, you can find I3 also. And another method is you can even derive that matrix also. And in matrix form, you can also solve I1, I2, and I3 directly. Fine. Okay. So first of all, let us apply KVL to a mesh 1. Apply KVL to mesh 1. Okay, fine. So this is the mesh 1. So how many different terms we are going to write? First of all, E1, then R1, where two different currents are acting, I1 and I2. Similarly, R2, where two different currents are acting, I1 and I3. So here, this is the first term. Second term is due to I1, and third term is due to I2. Fourth term is due to I1, and fifth term is due to I3. And according to the sign conventions, we are going to write all these different equations. So this is rise in voltage, fine, according to our definition. So we will write E1, fine, E1 minus, okay, because it is plus and minus, and the direction is from top to bottom, fine. So here we will write the voltage drop across R1 due to I1, that we can write. So here, if we do not confuse, we will always write the resistance value first. So R1 I1. Okay, R1 I1. Fine. And similarly, we can write current I2, due to which there is a drop in a resistance R1. Fine. So here we can write plus, because again the direction of assumed direction of mesh 1 is from top to bottom, fine, clockwise direction, and the sign convention is minus and plus. So it will be plus. So plus R1 I2. Fine. And similarly, we'll go for I2, R2 right now, R2. So in R2, the assumed direction is clockwise, fine. And the potential drop is from plus to minus. So we will write minus R2 I1 minus I2 R1. And one more drop is here due to I3 current, fine. So it will be again in the reverse direction. So it will be plus. So plus R2 I3. Are you with me, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now here we can rearrange the different terms here. Fine. So here you can see I1 current, fine. So we will write minus R1 plus R2 into I1 sorry, into I1. Fine. So these two terms are mentioned already. Fine. Now we will write the term of current I2. So plus R1 I2 plus R2 I3 is equal to minus E1. Or we can change the sign. We can change the sign and we can write equation R1 plus R2 into bracket current I1 minus R1 I2 minus R2 I3 is equal to E1. So this is an equation number 2. This is equation number 2. Fine. Okay. Similarly, we can apply KVL to mesh 2. So write down again, apply KVL. I will solve only 1 and 2 examples. Fine. Using this. This is the generalized because we have not mentioned any values of different resistances and batteries here. Fine. So in general form, I am just giving you an idea how to write that different equations. Fine. But in examination, if the numerical is given where the values of R1, R2, R3 and R5 are given, then you have to write the values instead of R1 and R2. Fine. And then you have to find out the three different unknowns using Kirchhoff's voltage law. So here we are going to apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to mesh number 2. Mesh 2. I hope all of you have draw this diagram in your notebook. Fine? Have you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So just watch this diagram in your notebook and give me that equation, the correct equation to be written for this mesh 2. Fine. So can we start it with battery? Yeah, battery E2. So E2 is it positive?
Yes, sir. Positive.
Yes, sir.
Positive.
So our first element is E2 minus
R2 I2.
just a minute.
I2 R3.
R3
So-
I2.
So we will not randomly picked. We will go through in the direction of current. So E2 is written. Now we'll write it for R3. Then we'll write it for R4. Then we'll write it for R1. Fine. So this way you please maintain the sequences. Otherwise, if you miss a single term, then you will not get the results. Okay. So here, first of all, R3 is alone. Fine. So only one current is acting on it, and there is only a voltage drop due to I2 current. Fine. And it is from plus to minus. That the assumed direction is again clockwise from top to bottom. Fine. So here in this case, we can write minus R3 I2. With me, all of you?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What about R4?
R4 I2.
minus I2
R4 I2
I2 minus I3 into R4.
Plus R4 I3
Plus R4 I3. Correct.
R4 I2.
minus R1 I2
minus R1 I2
Minus
R1 I2.
I2.
Plus I1
R1 R
plus R1 R2
I1.
I1.
Okay, is equal to 0. Fine. So we can rearrange the terms now. Okay. So first of all, we will write all containing I1. Fine. So we will write first of all R1 I1. Okay. Then the another term is with I2. So there are 3 terms. So all these 3 terms are minus. So we'll keep it as common. And the values is R3, R4 and R1. So we will write R1 plus R3 plus R4 into I2. Is it correct now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
And which one is the remaining term? With current I3.
R4 I3
So we will mention plus R4
R4
I3 is equal to minus E2. And if we change the sign, then it will be minus I1, R1 I1 plus R1 plus R3 plus R4 into I2 minus R4 I3 is equal to E2. Fine. So this is equation number 3. Correct? Similarly, we'll apply KVL to mesh 3. Mesh 3. Okay. So in this case, looking at the figure in your notebook, first of all, we'll write E3 because it is plus E3 because the direction of current and the polarity of the battery that shows it is a rise in voltage. Fine. So here we can write E3, correct, minus, okay, उसके बाद कौन सा आएगा, that is R2. So R2 will come across through I3.
R2
So
I3
minus R2 I3
R2
minus
R2
R2 I3,
I3
fine, plus
R2
plus
I1.
R2 I1,
I1
I1 because I1 is acting on the same resistor I2, sorry, R2, fine, minus
yes sir
Minus
I1 R2
R4 I3
R4
R4 I3
I2
R4 I3
I3
plus
Sir,
R4
R3
I2
plus.
plus R4 I2,
R4 I2
fine,
minus R5
minus
minus R5I3.
R5
I3
I3 is equal to 0. Is it okay? Okay,
Yes,
I
sir.
think that is very simple to understand. Fine. Okay. So you are able to write the KVL for different meshes in your any kind of examples if it is asked. Okay. Now rearranging the terms, we are going to write, first of all, this is R2 I1. Fine. Similarly, for I2, it is plus R4 I2 minus. So I3 is common from 3 different terms. So we will write R2, R4 and R5. So we will write R2 plus R4 plus R5 I3 is equal to minus E3. Fine. And then let us change the sign. So minus I mentioned it correctly or not? Just check. Okay,
yes sir correctly
it is correct. Fine. So here we will write minus R2 I1 minus R4 I2 plus R2 plus R4 plus R5 multiplying with I3 is equal to E3. So here we received 3 different equations, equation number 2, 3 and 4. Fine. So here in equation number 1, there are 3 different unknowns, I1, I2 and I3. And similarly in equation number 2, I1, I2 and I3, and similarly in equation number 3, there are 3 unknowns. So we can write these 3 different equations. Normally in a normal procedure, you can solve these 3 different equations either keeping the different values, and after solving 2 equations, if you insert the parameters or values obtained from equation 1 and 2 into 4 or into equation number 3, you will get the all different unknown parameters of I1, I2 and I3. Fine. Another way is that you can write in a matrix form also. So in a matrix form, if you write, we can write 3 different unknowns, which is mentioned here, multiplying with current. So there are how many currents? I1, I2 and I3. And similarly, we can write E1, E2 and E3. So in example, these voltage sources are given, that is active voltage sources, batteries E1, E2, and E3. So their values are given similarly. Now here, if you look at the equation number 1, equation number 2, 3, and 4, we are going to see. So in equation number 2, it is mentioned R1, R2. Here it is minus R1, and here it is minus R2. Fine. So can we write in the matrix form R1 plus R2? Then here it is minus R2, and here it is, minus R1. This is minus R1. Minus R1, and again, and here it is minus R2. Similarly, we can write for equation number 3, that is minus R1, R1, R3, R4, and R4. Right. Okay, so here we can write minus R1. Fine. Here it is R1 plus R2 plus R4, and here it is minus R4. Clear? And similarly, for the third equation, we can write minus R2 minus R4, and here that is R2 plus R4 plus R5. Okay. So this way we can write the different values of resistors, the determinant, and we can solve this matrix by different methods. Okay, so first of all, let me show you the magic here. What is the magic here in this? Okay, first of all, you can see, okay, in general form we can write, just a minute. So I would like to close this one. Okay. So we can write in general. In general form, we can write R11, R12, R13. Similarly, R21, R22, and R23. Similarly, we can write R31, R32, and R33 with unknown values of current I1, I2, and I3, with known voltage sources of E1, E2, and E3. Fine. Now here you can see R11, R22, and R33. Fine. Now for this, if you look at the equation here, so what is the value of R11 here? That is R1 plus R2. Similarly, R22 and R33, if you observe that R1, R2, R4, then for another value of R33, it is R2 plus R4 plus R5. Now look at your figure. Check your figure. Okay. In mesh 1, there are two different resistors, R1 and R2. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
In figure, if you look at, there are two different resistors, R1 and R2. So here, R11 is written as, R11 is written directly, you can write. If you come across any loop, and if you find that the different values of resistors, that is R1 and R2, so you can directly add these two values here, and you can write R11. Okay, so without writing any equations also, you can directly insert the parameters here in this matrix form. Okay, similarly, just look at mesh 2. Mesh 2. How many different resistors are there? R1, R3, and R4. Fine. So I think here it is R3. R3. Fine. We may have mistake here too in a writing. Yeah, it is R3. Fine. It is R3. R1, R3, and R4. Fine. So it is R1, R3, and R4. So this is the summation of all these three resistors in a mesh. and this is equal to R22. And similarly, we can write this as R33. So look at the mesh 3 and just verify there are how many different registers? R2 is there, R4 is there, and R5 is also there. Fine. So can we write directly R11, R22, and R33 of this matrix? Yes, we can write. Fine. Okay. Similarly, this value minus R1, minus R2. Fine. This minus R1 is due to current I2, and it is the common resistor between 1 and 2. Fine. And due to this current I2, because it is written as R12. So here it is minus R1 and this minus R1. So all the remaining are minus terms. Just observe, all the remaining terms are minus, and the inclined line of R11, R22, and R33 are positive numbers. Fine. So here those who are the common element between the two different meshes. And if you write, so here this is due to current I2, and this is current due to I2. So here you can write between I1 and I2, the R1 is the common resistor. Fine. So R1 is written with the minus sign here. Similarly, I3. So if you look at the I1 and I3 mesh where the common is R2, so common is R2 here. Similarly, you can write the another different parameters. Fine. And then you can solve this with the help of determinant. So you need to find out the determinant, and then you can find the unknown numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the number of unknowns are there. So in a matrix, if you assume there are 3 meshes, then the determinant or the matrix will be of 3 by 3. If there are 4 meshes, that matrix will be 4 by 4. Fine. So this way we can solve. Even we can write it for this 2 by 2 matrix also. We can write for this as in the form of matrix also. Fine. So here there are 2 unknowns, 2 by 2 matrix will be there. And you can write using this equation 1 and 2. Correct? Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Fine.
No,
I
sir.
think it is
No, sir.
now 4 and 4. So I should stop
Yeah.
this lecture here. Fine.
Yes, sir.
So next time
Yes.
onwards, I will give you one example. And after that, we will start nodal analysis on
Okay,
Monday.
sir.
Any
Thank you,
doubts
sir.
on equation so far? If you have, you can ask. Otherwise, we will continue next time.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Please send the
Thank you,
recording.
Bye,
sir.
sir.